huge part of the last couple of years at Radio Stoke has been Rob Edwards from LIFECYCLE Coaching in Sandbach. Rob, you know, when you're at your lowest with all the stuff we're taking in, it's stuff like hearing a little bit of Queen, isn't it? It doesn't matter what it is, just something, I think, to just boost you a bit.
We all need those little things, don't we, Lou? We're in challenging times at the moment, and anything that we can find to just give us a bit of a boost is important, isn't it?
Well, you know, I know nobody needs a reminder, but we were kind of like, it was Brexit up to your ear holes, pandemic, which COVID still is there, you know, just because it's not on the news, it is there. Ukraine, absolutely heartbreaking. There's a lot, isn't there, going on?
There's an awful lot. There's an awful lot going on, yeah, and you've just listed them out, and it's modern history in the making, isn't it? And with all that going on, we feel it all very personally, don't we? And you know, our hearts go out to all of those involved in all of those elements that you spoke about. And within that, it can be quite hard to maintain focus, can't it, as well? Because all we're seeing and all we're hearing in the media is the negative stuff. And if we're not careful, we can easily fall into our own negative spiral as well. Yeah,
I think there's a point with everyone, isn't there, where, you know, I obviously I listen to the news, I watch the news. We have to know what's going on, but to a point. And I suppose it's because I was ill last week as well. I think, you know, after it was a little boy in our country that had been murdered, and he was 2. Rob, I couldn't stop crying, and I just thought, well, obviously, if you didn't cry, there's something up with you. But I just thought we're getting to the point where I couldn't find a way out of it, of just thinking this is just all horrendous.
Yeah, there's a lot of it at the moment, and we're all drained. You know, it's been a tough few years, right? And it's obvious from this that we can't control all these things that are happening. We can't control what's going on. That's beyond us. But what we can do is focus on the bits that we can control. And even though it might not seem like it at the moment, there is still some good in the world. And so maybe this week it's time to focus our thoughts and energies on that a little bit. It doesn't mean that we don't care about all these other things that are going on. But if we do focus on some of the positives, it gives us a bit of a boost that we can hopefully pass on to other people as well.
For anyone listening, like on a personal level, I think you've hit the nail on the head that you would think, or people would think, I don't care if I'm not watching or listening to the news 24/7. And it most definitely isn't about that, is it?
No, it's not that. We can care. We can care. And it's like the old, you know, when you're on a plane, put your own mask on first before you put the mask on to other people. If we're looking after ourselves, it gives us a boost. It gives us more of an energy level and a more positive mindset to then go and help other people out as well. And that's what we can do. You know, we can write down 3 things that you're grateful for at the moment: your home, your job, a song that you've heard this morning, like we said. You know, you're grateful for your health. You're grateful for the better weather. Write them down. Be grateful for them. Write down 2 people that you're grateful to. You know, it could be someone who's helped you recently. It could be someone who's supported you in a decision that you've made, or someone who's inspired you in some way. Write them down and tell them about it, because when we let them know, when we thank them for what they've done for us, it's really important that we do that.
Does that change, I guess, not change what we're thinking about, but gives us a little bit of control of maybe focusing on something positive? Whilst we still know what's going on, nobody's that naive that it'll stop it, will it? But just that your brain is thinking of something else. And like you said, giving somebody else a little bit of a boost.
Yeah, that's it. It's training ourselves in gratitude. We can get sucked into the negativity so easily, but there are still things that we can train ourselves to focus on. And then we can think about, what one thing can we do for somebody else this week? What can you do this week to do some good in a world that is really struggling at the moment? It might be something simple for a mate, for a neighbour, or what can we do? You had some great reports on earlier on about the charities. What can we do for someone now who's been affected more directly by this crisis? Is there a collection point somewhere? Can we send some clothing or some bedding or some items that might be needed? Can we make a donation? Whatever it is, one small thing, write it down and commit to doing it this week. It might feel like there's not much that we can do, but if every single one of us does one little thing for one other person, then collectively we're making a big difference, don't we?
Yeah, it's a lovely idea as well. For anybody listening now, that sometimes the words are going in, aren't they? And I've been there when your anxiety is so chronic, it's almost like a wall when nothing's coming in. And, you know, if somebody is feeling very overwhelmed today, I know you've got lots of great advice online. How do we find you, Rob?
You can find me at lifecyclecoaching.co.uk.